Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Are you at the CBI building? I'm right here outside the main entrance. Hi.
Are you
Sarah.
Ralph?
No.
Oh, bummer.
No, I'm
Okay,
sorry. Sarah, I'm sorry. Somebody else was trying to take the car. Where exactly are you? Are you right at the end? Hello, Sarah. Uh, are you here at the CBI building? Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll just pull up right now. Just stay with me on the phone. So, you should see me. Yeah, that's me. Sarah, right? Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
He's got it, baby.
Gosh.
I said, I'm you. That's not what
Sarah, right?
Hi, yes.
Hi. I just
How
wanted
are
to.
you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Oh, good. How are you?
I'm good. It's been crazy busy.
Oh, I
know,
bet.
I understand.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year's.
Goodness gracious. Oh.
Everybody's trying to leave at the same time.
Yep.
Were people trying to take this?
They were trying to steal over, yeah.
Steal? Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I'm not surprised, to be honest.
Yeah. I only said bye to Katie. I didn't say bye to Jesse or any
I
of the
said
other
bye
people.
to them all, I think.
Oh well. Well, you said bye for both of us.
Yeah, I said goodbye to everybody.
Works for me.
For us. At this point, it's like you gotta either say goodbye or you're not saying bye. It's like,
Whatever you mean by that, sure, yeah.
I mean, it's either you're saying goodbye or not saying anything. It's like,
Too old for this shit.
right? I'm like so freaking tired right now. I'm like, ugh.
But it was worth it, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, absolutely. And kiss on midnight. Woo, 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 woo.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a little worried when it got to 6:58 and you hadn't, or 11:58 and you hadn't gotten back.
I
yet.
know. I was like, I'm gonna make it to the bathroom and back. I promise.
And then they counted down early. Like, what clock were they using?
Right? I don't even know.
We had our own countdown.
That's fine. That's funny.
Take the next left toward East 11th Street, then slide left onto East 11th
They didn't even put up the they didn't even put up the New Year's one just to pretend like they were gonna do the right one, you know?
Yeah.
Next left onto East 11th.
I was thinking they had to put on the ball
Ball drop,
dropping, but I
yeah.
guess not.
I'll be honest though, like,
It's fine.
yeah.
Like, whatever.
I don't
Who
care how
cares?
many New Year's we spend in New York. I would never spend New Year's.
We haven't spent a New Year. We've left on New Year's Eve every time
Oh
we've
no,
been to New
absolutely.
York for the
That's what I
past
mean.
like 5 years.
Like I'm like, thank God for that.
I lived there for 17 years.
Oh,
I didn't
really?
go even once to.
In New York?
Yes, in New York. I didn't go even. I used to live in Long Island, but I could easily go on the
Oh, yeah?
Times Square.
What
But
was it like?
I mean, it was too cold. Every time, for
That's
some
true.
reason, it happens to be too much cold, extra
Yeah.
cold.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
sure.
Every year they're like, this is the coldest year in New York. I'm
Yeah.
like, well,
Yeah.
okay, but you said that last year.
For the past what, like 4 or 5
Oh
years?
yeah, they've been
We've
like,
gone to New York,
yeah.
and every time
I
this is the
didn't.
one that we've taken off. We haven't gone. We didn't go to New York for
It's
from
I-
Christmas to New Year's.
standing over there for 14
No,
hours.
I'll
It's
be
not
honest,
worth it.
I really enjoy
We've been there, but we haven't celebrated New Year's
Right.
in New York.
We
Oh.
did not do the Times Square
Times
ball
Square,
drop.
no.
We've
that's-
left New Year's Eve morning every time. So it's like I don't
Yeah.
deal with it.
Well, I'll be honest,
Yeah.
I really enjoy New York. I love the shopping and the scene and the everybody doing their
Blah,
thing,
blah,
but like absolutely not. Could you give me for any amount of money just stand out there at Times Square?
Yeah, I
There
mean,
was
No, absolutely not.
there was
No.
one trip we took. We stayed at the was it the Ritz-Carlton in Times Square? I'm pretty sure.
I think so,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
And the morning of New Year's Eve when we
Yeah.
left the hotel,
Yeah.
we had to meet the driver who was taking us to the airport like 2 blocks away just because he couldn't get there.
Yeah.
holy.
It's just yeah.
He was like, are you guys sure you're not doing like New New Year's Eve.
No, we are not. No, we are
"For
going to the
sure.
airport. No,
Please
we're
take
good."
us to the airport. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
It just, I mean, I think last year it was like in the negatives.
Wow. Yeah, last year it was like
was
when
like
we were
negative
there,
4,
it was
negative
like
5
negative
degrees.
10.
And this time it was pouring rain. That's what they
Oh,
said.
man.
Ugh. No.
And people
Just
were.
adding insult to injury at that
Yeah,
point.
well, and I was listening like on the TV, and they were saying like on the nightly news that some people were wearing diapers because I mean they
That's
had
crazy.
Yeah,
no.
absolutely not.
That's
No.
ridiculous. I
It
mean,
is. It really
My
is
thing
ridiculous.
is, like, I
like
drink,
adults wearing diapers. I mean, come on now.
Right. My thing is, like, I will drink a bottle of water, just like a 500 milliliter bottle of water,
Right,
I'm like-
early in the morning.
Right,
Yeah.
just in
Yeah.
the morning, and I'm like, oh, I have to pee already.
Exactly. That would
I
be
can't
it.
imagine standing out there for 16 hours or some shit
Right.
like that, like they do.
That's
I-
not even worth it.
no.
At that point, I'd rather be like, all right, let's go find a really cute bar in Brooklyn
Yeah, for real.
where people are just having fun,
Exactly.
and
And
we'll celebrate the New Year. in
because
that
if you
bar.
leave your spot, that's it. You're
That's
done.
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
You
don't
have to
get-
go all the way back
You
into
get
the
one
line.
chance, that's all.
Shoot, no way. And it's like mediocre performers too. Like I think the last year was Mariah Carey
It's like,
performing.
did she perform her Christmas song?
Oh yeah, that
It's
she
the only one
performed.
anybody cares about.
Like, she can't even sing that song anymore. I'm like, I don't want to hear Mariah
Yeah.
Carey sing a song she couldn't sing 10 years ago.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
for real. It's just overrated.
Yeah, it is.
The amount of effort and anguish it takes to
No,
be there is just not worth the
What's it
reward
like
of
for
being
New
there.
Yorkers to be there? Like, really?
They take it for granted because it's happening every year for them.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
so it really doesn't matter to them. They don't. Sometimes they go.
They're just like, whatever, this is
yes,
happening,
exactly.
whatever.
And most of the restaurants along the strip are like they shut down. They don't let anybody in unless
Yeah.
you're going to sit down and eat because they will think you're using the restroom.
Mhm.
Because and they shut down the restroom. Only they're allowed for the police. That's it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's crazy.
Yeah, they had on the news. They said 7,000 police officers were on at Times Square, checking every bag, metal detectors, and all
yeah,
that.
that makes sense. I mean, after what happened.
And for the first time, they were using drones.
Really?
Yes, yeah,
Wow. That's nuts.
yeah.
So were you in New York in 9/11?
I used to work at right next to the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
I used to take Chambers Street. I used to live in Long Island, but I used to take the subway to Chambers Street.
Yeah.
And that was my stop. I saw the first sound of the first plane hit 9/11.
kidding
I'm not joking. It was 2 times. I will remember because I worked for the bank just 2 months. And it happened right on September 11th. And I was right there. And my building was right across. We could just literally go around
Yeah.
and see up, and there was a big gash of hole because
Yeah.
the first plane when hit, it sounded like a fighter jet because close to the buildings, it was so loud you would
Right.
not know what's going on.
Right.
So I mean, I thought a fighter just went by, but it just went around and there was a big hole and a fire and
Yeah.
it was crazy. Yes.
So what did you think?
I mean, after that, I don't know what I was thinking. I
Yeah.
went back inside my building, and they said, okay, another plane hit, and our building
Yeah.
shook because we were right. Bank of New York building was right there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the Greenwich and Wesley Street. That's
Okay,
where I
yeah.
used to work basically. So our building shook and said, you have to evacuate the building. We started running towards north.
Wow.
Yes, and I walked the Brooklyn Bridge that day on the way back, because everything, all the subways, everything was
Yeah.
shut down.
Yep.
Yeah. I've heard
Yeah,
that,
one of my friends was actually a paramedic in New York on 9/11. He worked for 32 hours, I think, straight.
Holy cow.
And he said he was driving home. He lived I think he lived in Brooklyn. And he was driving home after he finished his shift.
Oh gosh.
And because of all the dust and debris that had blown up,
Right.
everything around his car, enough of it got lodged in the intake that his car caught on fire
Holy
on the
cow.
way
And
back
he wasn't
home.
even like aware.
And
that
he
that
didn't
was
even
on.
notice it was on fire until his coworker,
Yeah.
who was with him, said, "Hey man, your car's on fire," and there was flames coming out of the hood.
Yeah.
And that's
Wow.
when he
That's
pulled
insane.
over and he watched his car burn down. I mean, I can't imagine working for 30 hours treating who knows what. I
Right.
mean, he never shared any of that, which I don't blame him. You know,
Yeah.
and then having your
Right.
car burned to the ground
Well, and
halfway home.
I work with this guy who was a teacher, and I'm a teacher, so he was a teacher in New York
Oh,
when it
okay.
happened. He was working in Harlem, and he and his wife lived on Long Island.
Yeah.
And he said that like when it happened, they just like watched it happen, and everybody just sort of like paused,
Oh,
and
wow.
then
Yeah.
they were like, "All right, well, I guess we gotta go home now."
Yeah, really.
So and like he just like walked over
You could see the smoke. Yeah, you're right.
whatever
Meanwhile,
bridge would get him to Long Island. At
I
that
was
point.
in
Like,
I
he
was
just,
in
like,
elementary
walked.
school,
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
and they didn't tell us anything until the end of the day.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, absolutely no. I watched the whole thing happen. I watched the second plane hit the second tower.
Yeah,
You
they
were
didn't tell us
there?
anything.
I did. In Lincoln.
Well, on TV.
On TV.
On TV, okay.
I wasn't
okay.
In
there.
my-
but
I was
in.
in- You were in 5th grade. I was in 4th grade.
and my teacher was like,
Yeah.
teacher was like a bro. She was like, I mean, she was like, this is history that's happening. She was
Yeah.
like, I want you guys to see this. And
They told us right at the end of the day.
Oh, wow.
Didn't
No.
show us anything.
Oh, no,
And then
my-
just sent us home.
No, my
like at
teacher was
normal
like,
time. Yeah, it was weird.
My teacher, I watched the whole day with her, and she was like, wow, that's a thing that happened. We watched the second plane hit the second tower, and she was
Yeah.
like, okay, that's interesting. And we watched them fall
Yeah.
as fifth
Yes,
graders,
I saw actually with my own eyes. People
Yeah.
either they had a choice,
Yeah.
either they would burn to death or they have a sudden death.
Yeah.
They jumped.
Did you know?
Yeah.
Okay,
And I
watched-
could look. I had to walk away. Walk away.
Wow, I watched this really interesting documentary. It was about these guys who lived through the falling of the tower. It was Voices Inside 9/11. It's on YouTube. I think you can watch it
Oh,
on YouTube.
really?
It was like these people, these firefighters
Uh-huh.
had gone up, and they had gone. I don't know how many floors they had gone. I'm drunk right now, so don't. You know,
No, you're
Don't-
fine.
The figures could
You don't
be.
sound drunk at all.
don't trust my figures on how far they had gone, but
Yeah.
they had gone up and they realized that, well, we're not, because the other one had fallen, so they had realized that, like, oh, we're not going to make it, so maybe we should turn around, we should go back now.
That's
So
what
they
they
met
did.
this woman
Uh-huh.
who was like, I physically cannot walk any farther. Like, if I'm going to go, somebody's going to have to carry me, or I'm just going to die. I don't really care.
Gosh.
So they picked her up in a chair.
Wow.
They picked her up in a chair and they started carrying her down. But because they had stopped and carried her in the chair,
Uh-huh.
they had gone enough floors where when the north one
Yeah.
started to fall,
Yeah.
they were right in the pocket where when it started to fall, they were right in the pocket where they were spared and none of them died.
Oh.
That they were in the tower when it
That
fell.
they were in the tower when it fell, but they were spared.
Wow.
I can't
But they did
imagine.
not die.
That's
And
That'd be
it was
crazy.
it was literally because they had stopped and helped that woman who could not walk any farther.
it
Yeah.
was a blessing in disguise.
Like,
Yeah.
Literally,
exactly.
oh my goodness.